What's up, Nutrition Heroes? This is Dr. Brad Watts. You're listening to another episode of the Nutrition Hero Podcast, and we're coming at you today from the frigid Midwest, up in Minnesota, in the podcast lab. So welcome. I don't know if it's how cold it is outside or what, but I'm getting a little nostalgic for what we went through this year with the Nutrition Hero Podcast, so I just wanted to give you a message from my family to yours. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your feedback. And thank you for being part of the Nutrition Hero family. I've had an awesome time over the last couple of months here, putting together these podcasts on a weekly basis. I've had an awesome time meeting all of these new people that have been listening around the country. And I've met hundreds of you this year, and I gotta say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a fun project. It's going to continue. And I'm excited for the guests that we have lined up for 2018. You're not even going to believe it. Some of these doctors, some of these people, the movers and shakers in the healthcare industry that are going to be guests on the show. And so I want to say a special thank you, not just to our listeners, but to the guests that we've had in 2017. So thank you so much for being on the show and being a part of it and educating your community, your peers, and hopefully stimulating some thought, stimulating some ideas that people wouldn't have had if they hadn't listened. So thank you for that. Now, I tell you that I'm coming from the frigid Midwest because I don't know if anybody looks at weather forecasts for other parts of the country. Maybe I'm just that type of a super nerd, but the point is that it's about to get chilly up here. So anyway, I wanted to get this podcast episode out before the needle hit -3 for a high, and so I want to do something today that I wasn't planning on. I sat down to do a podcast today that I had all prepared and organized, but you know what? We're gonna go off the cuff instead. So I was just out in Las Vegas, the opposite of the frigid Midwest here. Just out in Las Vegas at a seminar called A4M, and it's an anti-aging academy, and basically it's a medical conference, and there are, as you can expect, right, there are pills and potions and lotions for every ill that you can think of under the sun at an anti-aging medical conference. However, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about the people, lots of good people. One of the things that I want to highlight here is this doctor that I met. There's a doctor that I met that he basically, we got into a long conversation. This doctor's from the East Coast, Upper East Coast, and he is one of the lead researchers that discovered something that we call type 3 diabetes. And type 3 diabetes in the medical literature is basically a cross-reference, or now an interchangeable word for Alzheimer's disease. And what's interesting is I talked to this doctor that's one of the lead researchers on the genetic background of this condition, and he was telling me all of these cool things that they found to stop and halt diabetes from a genetic perspective. Right? But there's only one problem. This guy has diabetes. All right, there's only one problem. This guy is grossly overweight, grossly obese, morbidly obese. And one of the things that I had to stop, and I actually asked this doctor, was, what are you doing? What are you doing for yourself, right? Like, if you're not taking your own advice, who's going to take your advice? And that got me thinking, just, it kind of hit me hard standing there talking with this gentleman. And one of the things that came up, one of the things that I was pondering after this conversation was, to these nutrition heroes that are listening to this podcast, lead strong, right? It does not matter what you know. It does not matter if you're the Nobel Prize winner for science. It does not matter if you know, right, volumes and volumes of text on DNA and medicine. It doesn't matter. Right? What matters when you're serving your community is that you lead strong. Be the leader. And so I want to talk about that today as we wrap up 2017. I want to talk about leading strong in your community from a healthcare perspective so that your patients, your clients, your community members they can look at you as a beacon, like follow that guy, follow that lady, right? I want you to stand out in a crowd because you glow. I want you to stand out in a crowd because you look healthy and people go, how old are you for real? Like, are you 50? Are you 60? Right? And you can stand there and say, no, I'm 75. Okay? Like, I want you to lead strong. So there are a couple of things that I want to highlight just from doctors that I've learned over the last couple of months here doing this Nutrition Hero podcast. I want to give you a couple of these highlights once again. Things that I've learned from these people that are leading strong. Things that I've learned from people that are leading strong. Now, before we get into it, I read an article the other day out of the LA Times that said that 15% of doctors are addicted to the medication that they're dispensing. 15%. Now, that's a humongous number, right? When you talk about 600, 700,000 medical providers in the United States, not to mention everybody on the fringes, right? But when we look at 15%, the question is why? Why? Why is that even an issue, right? And it's an issue because medication downregulates, blocks, inhibits, and decreases function or replaces function of a specific biochemical pathway in the body, all right? At least one. Now, if that's what medication is designed to do, it's basically in a situation, again, this is just my opinion, my bent on things, but medication is compensating for something that you should be able to do in your lifestyle, right? So remember that your health outcome, this might go back 20 episodes, okay? But your health outcomes are nothing but an addition, right, of your genetics plus your lifestyle equates your health outcome. Okay, your genetics plus your lifestyle equates your health outcome. So A plus B equals C. If A plus B equals C, why do we have medication in there? Right? Medication, right? So A1 plus B1 plus B2, medication can be B2, right? Medication is in there because the lifestyle is lacking or it's undiscovered or it's not organized appropriately, whatever it might be. And so this is a friendly reminder as we get into 2018, I'm asking you to up your game as a nutrition hero. I'm asking you to up your game, not just to serve yourself and your family, but your community. Be an example. Be the poster on the wall. Be the example to your community members. Give them an opportunity to look at you and say, wow, I need to do better because of Dr. So-and-so. I need to do better because of this health coach. I need to do better because you fill in the blank. In 2018, be better than you were this year, right? Be better than you were this year. Nothing undermines your integrity as a doctor more than actions that don't follow what you say, right? Nothing undermines it more than that. So if you're, looking at what are my goals for 2018, I'm asking you to let me sit on your shoulder for a second and to say, hey, we got to come up with some ideas on how to amp up your health game this year. If you're not an exerciser and you're committing to exercise for 2018, start week by week, all right? Don't commit for the whole year. Commit for the first week, okay? And then do it again. So if you're talking about eating better, all right, maybe you want to eat more of like a paleo-style diet, or maybe you're trying to go ketogenic, whatever it is, okay, I'm asking you to make sure that you implement that consistently just for 1 week, the first week, right? Because if you can get through the first week, you can do the second. If you can get through the second, you can do the third, right? This is so critical. And I'm asking you to set these things up, okay? So lead strong this year. Write it down. How are you going to lead your community differently this year? Right? How are you going to do it? Is it from abstaining from something that maybe had been dominating your life? Okay, maybe it's alcohol or cigarettes or whatever. Okay, are you going to abstain from it? Maybe it's adding a task in. Maybe you need a quiet time. Maybe you meditate. Maybe you go for a walk. Maybe you're going to do 25 push-ups every day. What is it? I'm asking for your feedback here, all right? I want you to actually comment on this. What is it? How are you going to up your game in 2018? The reason I get so excited about this is because doctors ask, I get emails every day, right, from doctors around the country, every day. Some days is 10, some days is 50. But the point is that the emails come in and they say, how do you do this? How do you communicate this to your patients? Okay, how do you communicate wellness to your patients? That's a good one, right? I don't. Right? What the doctor's asking is how do you talk about wellness to your patients? I don't. I live it. Right? Maybe you can't tell right now because I got the Grizzly Adams beard, but the point is that when you live your message, it becomes contagious. Okay? So how do you lead strong? You live your message. If you're already living your message, change your message. Okay? So if you are living your message and you're not getting where you want to be, you're not seeing the results you want to see from a clinical perspective or business or health or whatever it is, change your message. Right? Actually sit down and write out your message. What's your paragraph? What's your paragraph to the world? What is it? What's it going to be for 2018? Live your message. That communicates more than you could ever say or do, all right, to your patients, and just on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. If you live your message, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it coming off of them. Okay? They're going to feel it coming off of you. How do I know? Because I felt it off of this gentleman that was trying to tell me the genetic breakthrough for diabetes and type 3 diabetes. Okay? He's trying to tell me that it has nothing to do with the food you eat. He's trying to tell me that it has nothing to do with the thoughts you think or the people you hang out with or the environment that you live in. He is trying to tell me that it has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with your genetics, right? Meanwhile, I asked him, do you have diabetes? Absolutely, he does, right? And not hard to tell, and he's also grossly overweight. So when we look at this in context, this hit me right between the eyes the other day, talking about this, and I said, you know what? You know who's not going to go through this situation? All these people that listen to Nutrition Hero podcast. Why? Because hopefully you're inspired to action, not just for you, but for your community, right? So don't let your life disqualify you from speaking. Don't let your life disqualify you from speaking. And I just, if somebody's an alcoholic, they're not going to go to AA and be the teacher, right? So you're not going to be able to lead people out of what you are currently encumbered by. You can't lead people away from a problem that you don't know how to solve, right? And so in this situation, I just ask you for 2018, what is it? What is it in your life that you're going to put on the hit list for 2018 and say, all right, we're checking this one off the list, right? What is it? What is it? So I appreciate you guys taking an opportunity to just do an inventory on yourself, all right? Every now and then, the nutrition heroes have to have a nutrition hero. Well, be it for yourself, okay? Sit down, reorganize. What am I going to do for 2018? What's my health project? Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to gain 10 pounds? Do you want to change your body fat percentage? Do you want to go from 20 to 10? Right? Do you want to change how you handle stress? You want less stress in your life or better adaptation to stress? Write that down. Do you want to smile more? Do you want to laugh every single day? Do you want to laugh in the face of adversity? What is it? I want you to write it down. I want you to think about if you could have anything this year. Anything. Not stuff, right? Not like trash you can buy. I'm talking about stuff that you either have to earn or somebody's going to have to gift to you. What is it? What is it that you want for yourself in 2018? Right? Is it joy? Is it peace? What is it? Is it laughter? Is it a little time every day, 20 minutes where you can just sit with no technology, stare at a wall if you want, right? And think. Is it coffee with your spouse every day, right? Like 5 minutes, just a little regroup every morning before you leave the house. What is it? I want you to think about it, and I actually want you to do it. Do you know that 3 to 5% of people will listen to a podcast and actually do something with that information? 3 to 5%. 3 to 5. I like to think that the Nutrition Hero family is above average, right? But I'm asking you to put something into motion here for yourself for 2018. Write it down. Stick it in your mirror. Put it on the dash of your car. Whatever it might be. Right? So, with that in mind, I appreciate every single one of you for listening. I appreciate every single one of you for participating this year along the way. I appreciate that you have identified yourself as a nutrition hero in your community. One of the things you're going to find is that you don't always feel like a nutrition hero, right? But every now and then, the guy that discovered type 3 diabetes is going to walk down your pathway, okay? And he's going to tell you there's nothing you can do. He's going to tell you it has nothing to do with your lifestyle. And then he's going to laboriously walk away from you, okay? And I want you to have enough inside of you to be able to smile and say, that's wrong. To be able to smile and say, I know who I am, I know what I do, and I know my value to my community. I want you to have enough inside of you to say that, you know what? I certainly am somebody's nutrition hero. I want you to be able to say that at the end of the day. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening this year. Stay tuned. Have some awesome episodes coming up. I'm going to give you a hint on the first one. I call him the Gluten Doctor. And so we'll be recording later this week. And I'm excited for you guys to have some information from what I would consider to be one of the kings in functional medicine. So all upcoming to a podcast episode near you. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Bless you. And we'll see you in 2018.